Hello, I'm Jamie Formento, and this is for EDS 170, Introduction to Educational Policy for second trimester 2025-2026. My topic is critical issues on public basic education in the Philippines. At the bottom of the screen is my ethical statement on AI use, where AI helped me organize the outline, but all claims are verified using the academic and technical sources shown at the end. As educators, we see that basic education is more than enrollment. It's whether children actually learn. In the next 5 minutes, I'll cover three critical issues: the learning crisis, teacher workload, and learner support, and resource and equity gaps. Then I'll end with the practical directions that we can act on. First is the learning crisis, especially in foundational reading and numeracy. The World Bank's Learning Poverty Brief reports that 91% of the children in the Philippines at late primary stage are not proficient in reading, meaning they can't read and understand an age-appropriate text by the age around 10. This aligns with our international assessment results, where in the DepEd PISA of 2018 national report, Filipino learners averaged 340 in reading, far below the OECD average, and only about 1 out of the 5 students reach the minimum proficiency level in reading. Similar results appear in mathematics. Again, only about 1 out of 5 reach minimum proficiency. What's important here is that this isn't just about student problem. A PIDS overview explains that learning is shaped by interconnected factors such as poverty and structural constraints, including nutrition and early childhood access and unequal learning support at home and also at school. So this crisis is system-wide. It's about readiness, instruction, and learning conditions, especially in the early grades where foundations should be built. For the second topic, we need to talk about teacher workload. A PIDS policy note describes how public school teachers' workload is not limited to teaching. It includes many non-teaching tasks, and as a result, actual teaching is increasingly sidelined. The same paper lists examples. Teachers get pulled into paperwork and programs like health and feeding activities, community mapping, conditional cash transfer related tasks, and even census related work, among others. And because many public teachers lack enough administrative tasks, teachers end up doing clerical and operational work that the private school often assign to the dedicated personnel. This can quietly erode teaching quality. For educators, the takeaway is simple. Protecting instructional time is a learning intervention. When teachers are overextended, lesson quality, feedback, and individualized support suffer. For our third resource, this is for this is resource and equity gaps for our third topic. The learning crisis is worsened by uneven access to learning conditions like materials, classroom space, and supportive school climate. PIBS notes that poor outcomes linked to factors including lack of school resources such as learning materials and classrooms, and also unequal access to learning support. Equity also starts early. UNICEF reports that participation in early childhood education remains limited. For example, the preschool attendance rate for children aged 3 to 4 is 22%, and many children still miss kindergarten. In the Philippines, disasters are recurring reality. UNICEF highlights the ongoing impact of disasters on education, which means learning continuity and resilience are part of quality. So improving public basic education requires not only curriculum changes, but equitable learning environments from early childhood to junior high school and beyond. So what can we do? To the end, here are three action directions that we can focus on. So first, focus on foundational literacy and numeracy and use targeted remediation because reading is the gateway skill. Second, we have to strengthen classroom assessment and feedback so we can catch learning gaps early. This should also happen within the home with the support of parents and immediate family as well. For the third approach, we can also advocate for workload reforms, reduce non-teaching tasks, add administrative support and guidance services, and invest in learning materials because teacher time is one of the most valuable learning resources. So again, thank you for watching my video. My reference are provided on the screen.